My name is Stanley MacDonald. I'm a Catholic priest. I live on campus at St. F.X. in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. I do the cheer, go X go, go X go! And the people answer. And like in my heart, when I'm saying, I'm not just talking about this rugby game, I'm talking about this rugby game, but I'm talking about go in your the wholeness of your life. I was born into a family of 13 kids, and my father had gone to St. F.X., my mother had gone to Mount Allison, and then eventually two of my sisters went to St. F.X., and four brothers, and myself, 5 brothers. The young curate in my parish, whom I admired, a tremendous athlete, and he was the terrific basketball player at St. F.X. All of the young priests who at that time were mostly amazing athletes, they all went to St. F.X. So I was brought up hearing stories, amazing stories about Joe Beef Cameron and the great athletes. I was taken up with sports, and I was taken up with St. F.X. The whole idea of coming to St. F.X. and the possibility of making one of the teams, like it was like a dream. And when my father and mother drove me up to St. F.X. and drove onto campus and got me settled in a room and got me to meet the president and get settled in the parish, then he said to me, Stan, he said, how about for this year you concentrate on your studies and get that straightened out, because they weren't in very good shape, and then you can go out and try out for the rugby team. And I said, okay, Dad. And I meant well, I was sincere, but as soon as he left, I got my rugby gear out and I went out and tried for the rugby team. Some of the most outstanding rugby players that I ever met were on that field. And at the end of the practice, one of the other guys who was trying out for the team said to me, as we took off our cleats, well, that's it for me and you. And I said, what do you mean? He said, you and I are not going to make that team. He said, did you see the guys that are out there? Porgiquillo's out there, Gino Scatalone, Eugene Swartzak, Johnny Murky, Darcy Nolan, all of these amazing rugby players. He said, we're not going to make that team. And I didn't say a word, but I just, in my heart, I said, there's no way I'm going to give up that easily. I was in the scrum. I was a hooker in the scrum. Well, my first year I was scrum half, but then the next year the hooker had graduated, so I took over as the hooker in the scrum. That first year, we won the Eastern Canadian Senior Men's Championship. I played every sport. You know, I played hockey, and I did play for St. F.X., but I was just, you know, I was just not good enough to be a regular. They had amazing hockey players at the time. One of the finest hockey players that ever played for St. F.X. was Jackie McClellan. And it was people of his caliber that were here at St. F.X. So it was a tough task to make the team here. But I did stay with the team as manager, and I played the odd game for St. F.X. I did amateur boxing, I played hockey, I played basketball, I swam, I played every sport. My interest in becoming a priest was really and truly, it was concentrated on this priest, this Father Nash, who was an outstanding athlete and an outstanding mentor of young men and young women. And everything that he did for the young guys, he did for the females. When it came time to go to the seminary, the bishop said, you know what I mean, your academics are lacking. So he sent me to a junior seminary for a year. And there is when I made a turn, like I finally said, I have to settle down and be serious about academics. I needed the discipline because I had none. I didn't know how to study, I didn't know how to apply myself, and that was the main thing that I learned. And I went back and I read the books that I should have read in university. I read after I left university. I learned a lot of lessons, and like the whole lesson about hard work and fairness. I do the cheer, go X go, go X go, and the people answer. In my heart, when I'm saying, I'm not just talking about this rugby game. I'm talking about this rugby game, but I'm talking about go in your the wholeness of your life. Go, X go means in every aspect of your life: academics, athletics, social life. If you're sick or if you run into obstacles, go, go, go. Don't give up. It's not so much an individual sport, but like I have two little friends, two little girls, they're sisters. And every once in a while after the game, after we've cheered, and I get the kids cheering too, the little ones. These two little girls come with their father, and they'll outdo me. They'll show me how loud they can go. And one will go, go X, go! And then I'll listen, and then I'll go a little bit louder. And then she'll go a little bit louder. These kids are into it. Blue and White Express Bobby Burchill Fan Appreciation Award presented to Father Stanley McDonald, March 23rd, 2018, presented by the Blue and White Express for your years of loyalty and support of X-Men basketball. Yeah, so I'm proud of that. I was in Coach Waterman's office, and we were like just rejoicing. The game was over, we won it. The regular season was pretty well over, not quite over, but. And this guy walks into Coach Waterman's office, and he was in the St. Mary's jacket and cap and all this. And he came over and he shook hands and he congratulated Gary.
First thing we're going to do, hey, we're going to go over to the fans. We're cheering for us to put our helmets up right now. Let's do that.
He not
right
only
now.
congratulated him on the amazing job that he did to bring football to the level that St. FX is at now. And it just touched me deeply, and I know it touched Gary deeply. And when he left, there was silence for a while, and I said to Gary, that's one of the most beautiful things that I ever experienced in sports here at St. FX. Exceptional award in recognition of your superior level of service provided to the St. FX varsity athletics. Thank you for being an integral part of our tradition of excellence. Father Stanley McDonald, St. FX Athletics. I try to affirm all the athletes because I really believe that the young people need affirmation. It's hard to be a young person today. It's hard to live and to be positive. And these kids are great kids. I love St. FX, and I love what I learned here, and the people that I met. We here at St. FX know what it means to win, and we know what it means to lose. When the game is over, if you've won, you've learned the lesson. If you've lost, you've learned the lesson. And one is more important than the other. Go X, go!